trauma. You heard me talk about it. Let's just get a little bit of a base on what trauma is. Trauma, defined as an overwhelming, dangerous, or threatening event, profoundly alters the nervous system by locking it into a chronic survival mode. Even when safety is restored, it disrupts the balance between activation, sympathetic, and calming parasympathetic system, leading to persistent hyperarousal, anxiety, rage, and or hyperarousal, numbness, and shutdown. Automatic dysregulation. The nervous system becomes inefficient at returning to a calm state. It keeps the body in a constant state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. The amygdala overactivation. The amygdala's brain's alarm becomes hypersensitive, leading to intense fear response, anxiety, constant vigilance for danger. Reduced prefrontal cortex function. The area responsible for logic and emotional regulation is suppressed, making it difficult to regulate emotions as distinguished past memories from present safety. Hippocampus volume reduction. Chronic stress reduces the size of the hippocampus, affecting memory, causing flashbacks, and making it harder to process experience. Chronology. Neurochemical changes. Trauma causes a chronic imbalance in the cortisol and adrenaline, which can lead to exhaustion, fatigue, and poor immune system function. The structure of the physical changes. The nervous system may physically change with nerves, fibers, and sympathetic systems become more sensitive over time. So, why I wanted to talk about trauma is because trauma is how cults and religion control people. And this is one hell of a way to control somebody. Emotionally dysregulated, hypervigilant, constantly scared, constantly terrified. Yeah. And that becomes the person's norm. But I also wanted to talk about, because trauma is extreme fear. It is fear beyond fear. It is when somebody has experienced something so damaging, it physically damages their brain. It physically alters their person. Very few people have the prestige to actually meet a truly traumatized individual, which is a good thing. Well, it's not true, because if you meet a church member, you know a traumatized individual, and that's why church people are weird. So, I was thinking about it, and I was asking myself some of the most traumatizing events in my life. Getting shot in the head, threatened, poison. These are all extremely traumatizing things. Being assaulted and hunted by a bunch of crazies who want to murder people, rape kids, and then scream they're the victims in it. Very traumatizing. This entire thing with me in this filthy, disgusting church, and every member in it for that matter, and I find it funny. That there is a weird mechanism in my newsfeed, and even in the people around me, that seemingly, almost as if they're like, the church is traumatizing, but it's good, it's bad. It's bad. No, it's bad. If there is anything I have definitively proven over the past 2 years, is suffering is bad for you. And I'm pretty sure every member of this church is going, "Ah!" And you look cute, by the way. But suffering is bad for you. And as much as Blondie or any of the edgelord church leaders want to tell you suffering's good, they're not sitting at home spiking themselves in the leg, stabbing themselves in the eyes, and lighting their families on fire, or burning babies with cigarettes. Okay? So they're not exactly true to their philosophy of suffering is good for you. They don't believe in it. The whole reason they say it is to get you to accept that it's okay to hurt other people, because you're thinking, because it's the idea that you're doing this person a favor by messing them up. But let's talk about that in regards to my situation. Court. Court was one of the most traumatizing things I ever did, and it was made even worse because I was poisoned with cadmium at the time by that fucking loser Uncle Ruckus. And this is the thing, when I say these people were losers, what I mean to say is they keep you fighting one hand behind their back, which means they have to cheat, and when you have to cheat, that means you've admitted that you're already gonna lose. That's why you have to cheat at everything, because you're a loser that can't deal with the reality that you're a loser. So not only are you a loser, you're also a weak person. And these are two glorious things that your church is gonna tell you is good. Which is kind of weird because they sound like bad traits to me. But I have common sense. So you probably shouldn't listen to me. Now, why was court so traumatizing for me? One, court's terrifying. It's a rigid structure that you don't understand. And if you say the wrong things, you can put innocent people in prison. I know. I did it a lot. I put a lot of innocent people in prison. People I actually cared about. And I remembered Blondie, why'd you put him in prison if you cared about him? Because you fucked up my brain with heavy metals. And you're going to have agency in this. And if you're one of the church members and you're about to be like, because the more research I do into heavy metal poisoning, I'm really starting to not view it as just like, oh, this shit's bad for you. I'm really starting to understand, how to explain it? I don't understand why we haven't weaponized heavy metals on like a global scale. And according to all my research, it would actually be extremely easy. But I would also argue because, one, you are taking control of a person when you're poisoning them with heavy metals because you're altering their psychology to a psychology you know, a psychology that you can manipulate. Poisoning somebody with aluminum makes them timid and scared, so all you have to do is constantly threaten them and you have control over them. It's a simple method. A simple method that I believe maybe everybody on the planet needs to know. And you might go, Bobby, that sounds extremely... I agree with you, it is extremely dangerous, but I think this would be the start to fixing things. Imagine one of these church members goes to sit down and eat, and suddenly they get aluminum poisoning. But I digress. I wanted to talk about court. I got a little distracted on one of my power fantasies. It's not like there's a ready source of aluminum around that I can just grind up in the powder. Anyways. Court. When I went to court, I made a list in my book of potentially everybody I think I put in prison. I don't know for sure. There could be more people, believe it or not. It was absolutely terrifying. And it was made worse because my nervous system was destroyed with heavy metals. So that is not normal. You see, the amygdala in the hippocampus or whatever, they store a trauma memory. And trauma memories are enhanced when you have heavy metal poisoning because they make the trauma worse. It's like a magnifier. It's like a multiplier. And as I said, everything down here I've done has literally been a trauma response. It's been, oh no, I gotta do this thing, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna get killed, oh God, why? I am exactly like a member of this church. Yes, I just said it. I am a great example of what a traumatized brain looks like. And here's the thing, like, I remember Anal Eating Mummy God, like, dude, I don't even, how many fucking conversations I must have had with that guy, holy shit. And every one of them was erased from my mind, isn't that some fucking, whatever, man, whatever. And here's the thing, when you think about it, why the fuck did I have these conversations with this guy to begin with? Like, what was he trying to do? what was the point? Was he looking for answers? Like, I don't know, man. That stuff gets screwy, but yeah, so. Court traumatized me. And if you know anything about traumatized people, the therapy for somebody that's traumatized by something is actually exposure therapy, where you expose it to them little by little. But I would like to talk about the other side of that, where you forcefully expose somebody to something. Think about if somebody had a phobia and you just threw a spider on them. One of the stories I still remember from high school on not dealing with trauma the appropriate way came about from a dude who studied, basically was working on some kind of a phobia, and there was some guy that was like terrified of bunnies or something. And they ended up throwing the bunny on him, and the dude got so scared, he literally had an aneurysm and died. Like, his brain literally fucking exploded. I am not saying that when you face your fears, your brains are going to explode, but I'm going to say there's a reason why these things are actually done in a clinic. And I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to take somebody like me and go, oh, we're gonna put you into court and, expose you to it little by little. That way you don't freak the fuck out and have a PTSD moment and start screaming about when you put your friends in prison. But I also really don't think any of this shit really matters anymore. Because I think the cinema guy said it, and I think everybody else said it. I don't have it, and honestly I did have it, and then it was just beaten out of me. And the stupid cruel shit with the, oh, your ceiling is so high, all you gotta do is move through the horror. Really? Really? And furthermore, in regards to the court system, trust. Trust the system that literally told me, just let them kill you. Trust the system that literally said we have no way of defending you. Oh, if you sue these people and you get money from them and then they come to kill you, there's nothing we can do. Why is the word justice in the justice system? Why is the word justice in the justice system? That is what I have to ask. But I also think about how every fucking member of this church is like, whenever, this is the thing about them, and I guess even now. So, church member, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, me facing the trauma of going to court, or me facing the trauma of all the traumatizing shit that happened to me, would be like you facing down your entire disgusting church. And here's the thing, I already know you can't do it because you're traumatized. You can't say a damn bad thing about your church. You can't say they're a massive human trafficking ring. You can't say you were anally raped by your church leader. And you can't do any of those things because you're traumatized. And when other people point these things out, you immediately go, ah, ah, because that response is trauma. That's what trauma looks like. And as much as Stu wants to pretend that he doesn't go, he does. Okay. As much as any of your members want to pretend that they're smooth operators when what actually comes out is, that's what trauma looks like. And does look representable to anybody? Is that the face? Name an action hero. Name one action hero that's like, I guarantee you couldn't do it. Because action heroes aren't people. And characters you've seen on screen aren't real. It's just a fact. So, the rape machine that is the church, that is also the trauma creators. And this is the thing. There's so many of these people, for whatever reason, that are in the field of psychology to help people. So, if you're in the field of psychology to help people, and you're in this church, I have the biggest move for you. The biggest move. Trauma is a form of mental illness. So here's what you do. When you promote your page, you remove your fucking religion from it. Because your religion, all it does is traumatize people. And then it fucks them up, and then they're mentally ill. And yes, that does create, you're right, that does create clients for yourself. And I'm pretty sure that's gotta feel amazing. But let's be honest. If your church wasn't traumatizing people to begin with, there would be no reason to tune into your YouTube page. But let's talk about being a good person. There's more to life than just getting your fucking YouTube views up. And there's more to life than just deliberately traumatizing people and then telling them to move through the trauma. It's good. You get through it. And nothing bad's going to happen. But then the person goes, and while they're doing that, you're just coldly staring at them, watching. Not helping. Not creating anything. Not doing anything good. Watching. And occasionally commentating on it. You shouldn't be traumatizing people to begin with. Suffering, as much as you guys like to pretend it's good for people, is not good for people. I'm proof of that. You guys have given me nothing but suffering, I don't know, since fucking Stu bumbled into my life because he's a retard. And he needs to be treated like he's a retard. And everybody in this church, for that matter, you are the eyes and ears of your church leader, meaning whatever you tell them, they have to believe. Okay, so if they're like, go watch that guy, he made me feel insecure, I'm so scared. Here's what you do. You lie to their face and go, that guy says he likes you, you're wonderful, but he wants you to stay away from him. Don't ever talk to him, don't bug his phone, don't look up on the computer, because you don't have any self-control, Stu. Problem solved. There you go. Lie to him. Tell him what he wants to hear. Okay? And trust me, as much as he's going to go, no, don't ever lie to me. No, he wants you to lie to him. He wants you to lie to him about everything. Don't ever tell him the truth. If you can, have multiple people giving him mixed signals on everything and then just keep telling him you're not lying. See how well that works for him. Because once you destroy the chain of command, everything falls apart. Thank you. This was more of a rant than it was about the court thing. I meant to be more focused, but that's what happens in a traumatized brain.